Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Bill's Retro Gaming Show.
And that's one to grow on.
No, not that kind of special. This is the Goonies Never Say Die challenge from Outrun the Neon Sun. Alright everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to PD7. PD7 did a shout out to me during his Goonies Never Say Die challenge, which, as I said, started with Outrun the Neon Sun. This was his challenge out to content creators in the home arcade retro gaming space. And he shouted me out to do one of these, so I thought that this would be a lot of fun to do. So let's get in. It's confession time.
I want you to spill your guts. Tell us everything.
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 Everything. Okay, I'll talk. In third grade, I cheated on my history exam. In fourth grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee and I glued it on my face when I played Moses in my Hebrew school play. In fifth grade, I knocked my sister Edie down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog.
Okay, maybe confession isn't the right word. But yeah, I did want to have a lot of fun with this. I thought this was a great idea, a great challenge started by Outrun the Neon Sun, just for content creators to come together to share some of the things that they love about the community. Because let's face it, there's just been a lot of drama and negative going on in the community lately, and I thought this was a great idea and a great chance for people to just share their thoughts on some positive things for a change. So let me start right off by saying, just first off, how excited I am that this is even possible today. I grew up a kid in the 80s, the heyday of arcades. I remember going to arcades, bowling alleys, pizza places, wherever you went, there were arcade machines around. Playing Pac-Man, playing Rampage, playing Star Wars, still to this day one of my favorite arcade games. And to think that one day I could actually have a machine that emulated that sitting in my house, just like back when I was playing these arcade games, like I said, in the arcades, video rental stores, wherever they happen to be, is just really exciting to me. It's not something that I ever saw was going to happen. I actually had a friend growing up who had a pinball machine in his house, and I thought that was the coolest thing for somebody to have a pinball machine in their house. How is that even possible? Are you rich? You know, and now today, obviously, we have access to some of these things, and for me, that is just something fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Now, beyond the home arcade is, of course, consoles and different things like that. I grew up playing things like ColecoVision, Atari, Nintendo, all those kind of things. And right now I actually have an old Nintendo Entertainment System that my boss was kind enough to give me. He found his old NES in the back of his mom's closet, and he knew I was into this stuff, and he said, hey, you know, I have no need for it, would you like it? So I got it. I cleaned it up. I actually put a new 72-pin connector on it because it wasn't working quite right, and it's working a lot better now. I started to collect some games for it, and it's really allowed me to relive a piece of my childhood. And again, I just think that's such a fantastic thing. And let me just say this in terms of being a part of this community and things like that. I don't know that I would be that excited about something like this if I wasn't following so many different content creators talking about these things and reliving them. I might have one of these. You know, I started out, the first one I got was the Tempest from Arcade 1-Up. And, you know, I watched reviews on it. I watched a lot of different people's reviews. I started to get into the community that way. And I decided I wanted to pick one up for myself. One. Well, you can look, you can see one has evolved into several, and I'm looking at certainly others to get as well. And that's because of the community. It is because of this community that it has rekindled my love for these machines, for old consoles, for just retro games in general. So thank you so much to all of you guys who over the last several years have been putting out some fantastic content in relation to these things. It's really rekindled my joy and my love of these arcade machines, these old consoles, and I have to say to all of you out there, I really appreciate everything that you do and everything you've done for the community. And another thing I love is just how accepting this community has been. You know, as somebody who has only been doing this in terms of having a YouTube channel for about a year now, the outpouring of support has just been phenomenal, whether it's from people who have subscribed to my channel, so thank you very much, people who watch my videos, or other content creators who have reached out to me, who have offered advice, who have brought me onto their shows, just who have become friends now over this past year. People I never would have known, people from other parts of the country, people from other countries, that if it wasn't for this community, I wouldn't know who they are, and I certainly wouldn't have any kind of relationship with them. So thank you guys so much just for that. Like I said, I know we see a lot of things, we see a lot of drama sometimes between different people and whatever, but by and large, on the whole, this is a community that loves and supports each other. It really is. And I'm one of those who believes the axiom that a rising tide raises all ships. And that when one of us is doing well with our content, with what we're putting out there, it actually elevates the others who are doing similar things in the space. Because think about it this way, if I'm somebody who is interested in, say, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I want to know, is that a good machine from Arcade 1-Up? Well, I'm not going to watch one review. I'm going to find one review, which is going to lead me to another, which is going to lead me to another, which is going to lead me to another. And before you know it, I've watched maybe a dozen different people's takes on one machine before I've made a decision on whether or not I'm going to buy it. And that's what happens with this community, is that if one person puts out a video and that video does well, then other people are going to follow, and it just gives more for the viewers to be able to watch. So yes, I get it. There is a little bit of competition when it comes to these things, but in another sense, we're also not just competing with each other, but we're complementing each other in the things that we're putting out. And to me, that is the thing that is the most important, is to be a complement to other videos and other content creators out there. I don't necessarily want to be the best YouTuber, but I do want to put out good content for people, for sure. And watching other YouTube creators has elevated that for me. It has made me want to strive to be better because I see how good their content is. So thank you guys for the amazing content that you all put out on such a regular basis. It just makes me strive to want to be better. All right, so before I wrap up this very special edition of Bill's Retro Gaming Show, and before I shout out the next 10 names that I would like to see do this, one last time, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody out there, to the content creators, to the viewers, to all of you who are just participating in this community, no matter what level it's at. You're what makes it fun and fantastic, and I love interacting with people. That's why I always say that I want people to leave comments on my videos, and that you are a part of the conversation, because you are. Your voice is what matters. And when I hear the feedback that I get from people, whether it is good or bad, whether they like my content or they don't, it affects me, and it makes me want to do better, and want to do better, not just for me, not just for my channel, but for you who watch, so that I can provide the best content for you, whether it is informative or entertaining. And hopefully it's a little bit of both. But Our and Leanne's son, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for putting this challenge out. I think this has been fantastic. I have loved watching some of the other content creators who have risen to this challenge and what they've had to say as well. And I think this is really going to be a good thing for the community. So I hope people continue to do this. All right, so let me wrap up by shouting out a few other people that I would love to see take on this challenge. First off, I'm not going to shout out my hosts on Game Time because I've already seen that they've been shouted out by other people before. So just real quick, the Tech Buzz, Jade, She-Line Gamings, Mike of All Trades. Mo, actually have seen you do one already. Steven, I know you said you're going to, so I hope you do rise up to it. Jade, I would love to see you do one as well. I'm only saying you guys because you're on Game Time. I know you've been shouted out before, so you're not really part of my shout out. But let me shout out a few other names that I haven't seen that hopefully will do this. And if I'm wrong and other people have shouted you out, hey, it just means people really want to see what you have to say. So first off, I want to see Glenn's Retro Show. I would love to see what Glenn has to say about his thoughts on the community and what he really loves about them. Justin Console Kits, I'd love to see him as well, see what he has to say. SWAT 919, I think you'd be a great one too, so let's hear your thoughts as well. Constorm Entertainment, let's hear from you. Steve V's Man Cave, absolutely would love to hear you do one of these as well. Good buddy Endless One Up, absolutely needs to do one of these. I know he's going to make it hilarious no matter what he does, so Endless, I know you need to do one of these for sure. The Garage Gamer, definitely want to hear from you. And last but not least, the Real Smile Bit. I would love to hear your thoughts. So rise up, let's hear your Goonies Never Say Die challenge, and I will look forward to seeing them all. That's it for this one. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.